I've been telling you that I've been working on a Christmas decoration. This is it. Look. Here with a nice green stuff. It's all beautiful for painting actually, so this is nice. Let's turn it around. Look at that. So yeah, this is it with two little Christmas balls. So yeah, here some things went a little bit wrong. I should have added more of this stuff. That is why I keep it like this. This side is a little bit better. So it was great fun making this this Christmas thing, and I had a little bit of I don't know the English word. We call it I think you call it a napkin. Yeah, napkins, to prevent the wood underneath from scratching. So this is it. Let's continue the painting. Now the paper is completely dry, and I think I'm going to put in a little more color. And I'm going to pick up that same large brush. Here it is, number 24. It's already filled with water. Let's add a little more water. I'm a bit careful here with the bells. And I have a feeling that I want to add more earth tones. Now this method of just splashing color on the paper, I haven't used it that often, so I am a bit careful, and because I'm not completely convinced about my skills, I will use a more... Oh, do you see what I did? Do you see what I did? The idea was that I would keep these two areas dry, the highlights. Oh. I need to be careful here. So I am a little bit careful about the colors that I will be using. Here is my little box. I'm going to use, I feel I want to add a little bit more earth tones. How about this one, raw sienna, with my Pentel water brush. In a later stadium, when the details come, I will for sure use other brushes as well. I'm going to use many different brushes, so you can see how that all works. Let's just splash this in. Yes, this is good, because this is a little cooler tone. A little bit cooler, yes. That's good. Now if you have courage and a larger brush, then you can use bolder, stronger colors. But as I was just telling you, in this stage of my watercoloring experience, I prefer to be a little bit more cautious. Adding a little more water, squeezing the brush. What you could do also is use the bigger brush, add a touch of water to it, and then do it like this. But I really want to keep this brush clean. I can always clean it up, of course, but So, and let's take a look. So I really like how the color, the raw sienna, acts over here. And I think I need to add a little more here. Now I'm always looking for balance, and sometimes that can be difficult, finding the balance. I am now painting with my daylight lamp, and you know, when I was tracing, you could see trouble, all these waves moving through the screen, on the screen. I don't know how to say that in proper English, but now that there is color on the paper, my camera works a lot better. That's hopeful. Now I can paint at night. That's good. So, do we need a little more? Yes, I think we do. So I'm picking up that large brush, dipping it in water, and I think I will add a touch of water here. So, now let's get back to the raw sienna. Picking up raw sienna and just dipping it, putting it on paper. It's interesting with the watercolor pigments. Some of the pigments move freely when they hit a wet surface, but other pigments, although the surface is wet, they don't move that easily. You will find that out for yourself, I think. That's just the way it is. Now, this, I like this. I don't know if we will see it, in the end result we will see this, but I really like this. Just like what we see here. Very, very nice. I like that. I will leave that there. I have a feeling I need to add a touch of green here and there. So again, I'm using the big brush. Where do we need green? Now this may seem strange that I'm putting in green in areas, because here there will be a lot of red in the end. But I'm going to put in green anyway, over here. My brush is dirty, that's not good. Okay, cleaning the brush. I'm squeezing the brush and simultaneously cleaning it. Now actually I have a feeling that I want this stronger, darker green, forest green. Just let's go for it. Let's give it a try. Just dipping it, putting in a couple of dots, like here. It's always a bit, oh, there's no water. Well, this is always very scary. Now let's smooth things out a little bit. The fun with watercolor is that you can always pick things up. Pick up excessive paint if you wish. Even when it has dried, you if you are careful, you can pick up a lot of excessive paint. Now, when you are doing this course with ink, for example, ink tints, then you will find it a little bit more difficult to pick up excessive paint. So, this looks good. If you hear some noise in the background, that is correct. Again, I am cooking actually, but I am in the living room right now. And upstairs, the washing machine is doing some laundry. And in the kitchen there is something on the stove, so yeah. Well, I will have to let this dry again, but I'm not completely happy with this blob. So I'm going to change the shape. This is too round, it's not, so let's change that a little bit. Now, while this is drying, I thought I wanted some water, some green here too, yes. Let's add a touch of it. Yeah. I can already work around those leaves here. Why not? That looks strong. Let's give it a little bit of time to dry, and then we will see what is the next phase. Now, while this is drying, I can show you. Oh, I see the waves. Do you see the waves? I see the waves. Not good. I don't want to see the waves. Anyway, we have a Christmas wreath here in the living room. Look, this is our Christmas wreath. Now it's quite a big one. It's about 60 centimeters, I think. And I've just started decorating, so more decorations will come in the next few days. So, but this is a Christmas wreath. I bought one because, here, nice little bell. I bought it because I think I have an allergy for Christmas trees. You know, I love the real Christmas trees, but that's me. Hello. So I decided to no longer buy the real natural Christmas trees, but go for a Christmas wreath like this. Well, after a very busy day of teaching and doing groceries and cleaning and all sort of stuff, it is now the end of the afternoon, and it's getting darker. Yep, the dark days before Christmas are here, but I'm going to try to do a little bit of painting. Now in this drawing is this plant. I will have to search for the English word, but here I have the actual plant. This is it. I bought one weeks ago, and I think it should have been better of buying it not so early, because the leaves were just perfect and now the leaves are deteriorating. But I think we can use this beautiful plant to find out which colors we can use. Look at that. Here is my my color chart, and here is the little bell. I'm going to start with this bell. Now I'm going to try to determine the colors in this bell. You can hear stuff in the background. That is there's a pan with meat on the stove. Now I think it's either this one, Indian yellow, or light yellow ochre, and I think the light yellow ochre comes closest, so I'm going to use that one. Here is the light yellow ochre, and this time I am using my Caran water brush. I've been trying 3 different brands: a Derwent water brush, the Caran water brushes, and the Pentel. And for sure I can tell you, Pentel and Caran are my favorites. I forgot something. Guys, something happened that I'm really not happy with. While painting the first layer in the bells, it turned out that I wasn't recording. Now that is not good. So I will tell you exactly what I did. I used this color, yellow ochre, with a water brush. I added some paint, and then I took off the excessive paint, like I am doing now. I do that right, like this. This is really not fun that this happened. I should check my camera more often. So this is just the very first layer of very thin layer of water. I actually like the fact that there is a tiny bit of lemon yellow here. It comes from this area. And I might add a touch of the lemon yellow over here as well. Now this is just the first layer, so more darker layers will be added on top. I used to make a mistake, and that is adding different colors on top of each other when the layers haven't dried yet, and then you could turn up with a mess. So make sure the layers you put on paper have dried, and then you go for the next layer. The result is so much better if you give it time to dry. I actually like this a lot, the way these bells look already, and I think they will look even better. Now I'm going to add the same light yellow ochre to this apple here, just a tiny bit. I'm going to add some water first, just a tiny bit. I think I should check the meat on the stove. It's making a lot of noise. It's hissing, and let's check it before things get ruined. So I'm back, everything is okay. The meat I'm cooking is beef, and I'm cooking it for hours and hours, because then it tastes so good. I'm cooking it for hours and hours, and then I will eventually throw in a couple of vegetables like onions and carrots. I will have that cook together with the meat. Do you call that a stew? I think it's stew in English. It's getting so dark now that I really have to switch on the daylight lamp, but you know, I'm very annoyed by that lamp because of the waves, so I'm not going to do that. I'm still a little bit nervous about this green blob that is over here, but I hope I can work things out. Okay, so tomorrow when it's light again, I will start adding color to the leaves of these red leaves, and then we will figure out which exact colors we can use. So this is it for now. So here we are back with the Christmas watercolor along, and today I'm going to see if I can find the right red for this painting. Now I can see on my screen that the red that is being shown on screen is a little more brighter than the actual red, but that's okay. Here I have my my little color chart, and actually it's quite clear that the French vermilion is very close to the color of this leaf, but I'm going to do some testing. So here I have a small piece of paper, same paper as this is also Hanemühle Quattro, but you can use another type of paper if you want. You don't necessarily need exactly the same paper. So I'm going to test a couple of reds. And I'm going to start with the French vermilion, because I think that one comes very close. That's this one. I'm using my Caran water brush. I think I made a mistake in my something is not right. Yeah, this is French vermilion. look, I think I have switched these two. Do you see that? Oh, no, you don't. I think this is not French vermilion. That is a mystery. So let's clean the brush and let's find out what happened here. I clearly made a mistake with writing down the color names. And my ink pen I was using was already telling me it didn't want to go any further with the writing, so maybe it was telling me, girl, you're making a mistake. So let's try this one. But with this one I am very sure this is Windsor Red. So how does that look? Do you see that? I just switched these colors. Wow. So I need to change that. And I just do it like this. This is French vermilion. And this is Windsor Red. I have no idea how that happened, but it happened. So let's continue, because I have more red tones, and although this Windsor Red comes very close, I also need darker tones and other tones. So I'm now going for Carmine. That is a slightly cooler tone. Here it is. I will show you. This has a slightly more pinkish color, and I think that tone will help me creating a little bit of depth. There's another one, but that's a darker one, alizarin crimson. I could use this one too for the darker areas, but I'm not sure if I will. Maybe I choose a completely different color. So what I'm going to do now is determine the lightest tone in the leaf. And I'm going to pick up that plant. Now if you look at these leaves, then the lightest areas are actually quite saturated with red. So the lightest areas are quite dark. So for example, here you see quite light area. Here on this leaf you can beautifully see how the shape of the leaf is. There are quite some shaded areas. So okay, let's take this. So that lightest tone, I think if I do a light wash with the Windsor Red, then things will work out. I could also use the first one on top, the French vermilion, and then build up the color. But I'm sure I want to start with a warmer tone. For this first layer I'm going to use this brush. It's my angled brush number 8. I love it. Works very well for me. So I'm going to dip it in water and going to put the water over here, and I'm trying to add water in as many areas that I want to give this red color. I'm starting very light with a very light tone, so I can change things if needed. So here we go. And I will be going for this one, my Windsor Red. If you do not have Windsor Red, then pick your warm red, like a French vermilion, or you could mix, add a touch of orange somewhere. Just trying to make a very light wash. Here around that bell. It's scary, I have to say, very scary. There's this artist, watercolor artist, who is doing a lot of courses online. Her name is Anna Mason. And she says when you get scared and you fear that your painting is ruined, then trust the process. Because in the first phases of your painting may not look so good. But then later on, as you continue, the painting will pull itself together and something beautiful will come out. Now at this point I'm having a little bit of fear that this is not going to work. But I trust the process. Just continuing. I'm not trying to make it look all perfect. It's not working, so perfection is an illusion. You know, the most beautiful tree somewhere has a leaf that is broken with a flaw in it. Now look at that. Let's do another one over here. I believe it is in Islam. Here I have fresh water. I believe it is Islam who says that perfection is when they weave a beautiful carpet or making some art or whatever. I know the people who weave the beautiful famous Persian carpets, they make a little mistake, a weaving flaw on purpose, because they say that perfection is not for humans. It's not working. So they on purpose make things with one little flaw, at least one little flaw, because perfection is only possible in the divine world. And I actually like that idea that it may help you to overcome this extreme perfectionism that many people are suffering from. So make at least one mistake, one little flaw. The Persian carpets have been very, very popular in the Netherlands for a couple of decades. My grandparents had them. My parents had one. My in-law, my father and mother-in-law, they still have one. So they were very popular, and I think there is a revival going on. I believe you can now buy them at IKEA. And most of the time they are of beautiful quality, with that at least one little flaw in it. So, here we go. Here I have the Windsor Red. Let's take a look. Let's see what's happening. Just putting it in. I have a couple of minutes left before I have to go back to my studio and do some teaching. The last student of the year is coming in an hour. My Christmas vacation will start. Well, not completely, because this afternoon I will go to my own singing teacher to prepare a performance, the one on first Christmas Day, the 25th of December. Picking up a little more paint. Now I hope I will be able to finish this layer of paint before the student arrives, otherwise things will dry and I will be in trouble. So I need to be quickly distributing the paint. I'm using this brush, but you can use a round brush and you can use a fairly bigger one if you want to. I think a bigger one may work even better, but I just happen to pick this one. And a little more paint here. Cleaning up my brush because the paint is very strong here. Well, I will leave this now. It needs to dry. And then we can move on. Actually, I'm very pleased with how it looks now. I'm very hopeful that this is going to be a very, very nice painting.